Hey everybody, I'm John Granado. That's Lance Zerline. You can hear us mornings on ESPN 97.5 and 92.5. Hit subscribe if you haven't yet so you get all of our content here on SportsMap HOU. Rockets looking good. Knock off James Harden and the Sixers. They've won 4 of 7, 3 straight at home. Harden had a lot of complimentary things to say about the young core and the city of Houston. When James left, he said there was unfinished business here. And I've talked to Tillman about this too. He would not be surprised at all if James Harden wasn't a Rocket again. Any chance we see him as maybe the primary ball handler that they need right now?
When I started hearing that over a year ago, I thought, what? No, absolutely not. But as more time has passed, James is in better shape right now. You can just tell he's leaner. He looks better, and he's in much better shape. Is he the same James he once was? I think he can have his moments, but not over a sustained season, and he shouldn't be. I mean, Joel Embiid is the better player. Joel Embiid is a star on that team. I think what's interesting to me, though, John, is that you look at James Harden, and he can be a primary ball handler. Yes, the turnover count's going to be high, but it's high with Kevin Porter Jr. You get more assists out of James. He's a better ball distributor. I don't love when it gets sticky and the step back, but if James somehow, I couldn't envision this 2 years ago. Now I at least can think about James taking a little bit less of a role and being more of a mentor on a team to a young team. I know it sounds crazy.
Man, are you kidding me?
And there's no guarantee that could happen.
James Harden mentor?
I know.
This is making me, not only that, I don't like the style of play. I hate the dribble. But James Harden, strip club James Harden, flying to Cabo in between games, James Harden missing, being late for planes, James Harden, not getting along, getting everybody fired, James Harden.
Mentor,
this is the guy that you want mentoring young players?
Maybe mentor is not the word, but the veteran who the young guys will listen to. The veteran who the young, maybe I don't want them listening.
How else can you put this?
A veteran who the young guys will be respectful towards.
Yeah, okay, they may respect him, and you know what? He's done a lot in basketball, but
they need a primary ball handler.
Them having his when Daryl Morey signed, I forget who he signed. He said it was 4 a.m, and he said, "Well, I know James will be up, so I'll call him at 4." This is not the guy you want to be mentoring Jalen Green and Jabari Smith. This is a guy that you want. This is a guy I want to party with, okay? But I don't want him mentoring my young players. And listen, before we go on here, I want to tell you right now that if you right now have issues with urination, okay? If you have a problem urinating in any way, shape, or form, listen to this and we'll be right back. If you have an enlarged prostate, it can be really dangerous, can't it?
Yes, so if you've got increased pressure, it could go up to your kidneys, cause kidney failure, and a lot of the symptoms are related to that pressure, so having to urinate often, incomplete emptying, so you'll go, but you don't feel like all of it came out.
We want an extreme, not a low stream, right?
That is what we're after here, is an extreme.
If you think you have an enlarged prostate, one place to go, 975prostate.com. That's Doc Manavis right here.
That's a smooth transition from James Harden to urination problems.
Well, I don't want to go there, James urination, but I do want to go here, okay? Is he more likely to be Chris Paul to Phoenix, which was great, which brought them to another level, or Jimmy Butler to Minnesota where he was punching everybody in the face?
Well, he didn't have that demeanor, so he wouldn't be Jimmy Butler there. Jimmy was immediately oil and water. It was just not a good mix with those players. But James is already friends. Like he's friendly with KPJ and Jalen Green and some of these guys. He's got a house here in Houston. He'll probably see them at different events and things like that. So I just think I don't think you can write it off. I will say that. I mean, if Tillman Fertitta says it and he's the owner, you better not write something like that off. It seemed crazy to me at one point, but it is something that I can actually envision now is the Rockets adding him to be the primary ball handler. Now, I think you'd have to subtract Kevin Porter Jr. from that mix, but I can see a scenario in the future where James Harden finishes his career in Houston. I think he would want to do that, and if money's not an issue, it's something the Rockets might consider.
You know, and watching him too, he still makes crazy decisions, throwing the ball, crazy play. If he became a facilitator and not a scorer, right? you still got to put up with that stuff that he does with the
Right.
basketball. He
Right.
makes unbelievable. Now he makes unbelievable passes, but he also makes passes where you're like, what are you thinking about there?
Yeah, that's James.
So
Well, same thing with Kevin Porter Jr.
yeah.
Only you get a more efficient scorer with James, and a guy who can get to the free throw line and get easy points.
Is that going to be going forward 2-3 years down the road? Or James has lost a step now.
Yeah.
He's not going to be that guy that's going to the basket and drawing fouls.
Yeah, no, he'd have to be. I mean, the James we're talking about would have to take on a totally different role, a significantly different role. So that's way down the road. But to even think that we'd have this conversation and even really consider it, regardless of what the owner and the GM think, who they both apparently really like James,
They do.
It seems crazy that we could end up being in a place here again with James Harden is one of the lead dogs in Houston. But I would not write it off.